Welcome back to Peer-Guided DBT Lessons, provided by DBT Skills Application, Peers Helping Peers. This week's lesson, marked 3-10 in our Emotion Regulation module, will be examining Check the Facts. Please keep in mind that we're simply peers helping peers, working together to bring about more peaceful, constructive, and ultimately happier lives. In other words, a life worth living. So far in this module, we have discussed several ways to check the facts. Does the emotion fit the facts? Does the emotion fit the circumstances? Does the intensity of the emotion fit the situation? Is the emotion a response to a current event, or is it an echo of a message received in childhood? If you're able to answer yes to all of the above, the next question is, am I looking at actual facts or distorted thoughts? Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, which much of DBT is based on, call these factual distortions ANTs, automatic negative thoughts. In order to rid yourself of these pests, you must notice when they occur, identify them as false, and immediately talk back to them. The first ant we're going to be visiting is black and white thinking. This distortion manifests itself as an inability or unwillingness to see shades of gray. In other words, you see things in terms of extremes. An example here is, something is either fantastic or awful. You are either perfect or a total failure. The next ant is filtering. The mental filter distortion focuses on a single negative and excludes all the positive. The mental filter can foster a negative view by focusing only on the negative. An example here is dwelling on a single negative comment made and viewing a relationship as hopelessly lost, ignoring the years of positive comments and experiences. This ant is focused on overgeneralizing. Overgeneralizing takes one instance or example and generalizes it to an overall pattern, leading to overly negative thoughts based on only one or two experiences. An example here is a student may receive a C on one test and conclude that they are stupid and a failure. This ant is into mind reading. The inaccurate belief that we know what another person is thinking. This distortion refers to the negative interpretations that we jump to. An example here is seeing a stranger with an unpleasant expression and jumping to the conclusion that they are thinking something negative about you. How about the fortune-telling ant? Fortune-telling refers to the tendency to make conclusions and predictions based on little or no evidence and holding them as gospel truth. An example here is someone predicting that they will never find love or have a committed and happy relationship based only on the fact that they have not found it yet. This ant is into emotional reasoning. Belief that because you feel a certain way, this is how it really is. It concludes that their emotional reaction to something defines its reality. An example here is, I feel it, therefore it must be true. I know my spouse is being unfaithful because I feel jealous. This ant is into personalizing. You erroneously see yourself as the cause of some external negative event, even though you weren't responsible for it. An example here is assuming you were the reason a friend did not enjoy the girls' night out because of you. This ant is all about should statements. Thoughts that are imbued with expectation, judgment, and pressure, imposing a set of expectations that will likely not be met. Musts and oughts are also offenders. An example here is, I really should exercise. I shouldn't be so lazy. This ant is into disqualifying the positive. Disqualifying the positive distortion acknowledges positive experiences, but rejects them instead of embracing them. An example here is a person who receives a positive review at work might reject it and attribute the review to his boss simply not wanting to talk about his employees' performance problems. This ant is all about catastrophizing. We expect disaster to strike no matter what. This is also referred to as magnifying. We take something that may be unpleasant and blow it up to be bigger than it really is. An example here is a person might exaggerate the importance of insignificant events, such as their mistake or someone else's achievement. This ant is into labeling. We tend to make global statements about ourselves or about others based on situation-specific behavior. An example here is a student who labels themselves as an utter fool for failing an assignment. Mislabeling involves describing an event with language that is emotionally loaded. Negative thoughts invade your mind like ants at a picnic. Whenever you notice an ant entering your mind, train yourself to recognize it and write it down. When you write down automatic negative thoughts, or ants, and talk back to them, you begin to take away their power and gain control over your moods. Kill the ants by feeding your emotional anteater. Once you are able to answer yes, the emotion fits the facts, and have removed all the pesky ants, you will be ready to take action with the emotion. Next week in our peer-guided DBT lessons emotion regulation module, we'll be examining problem solving.